Thomas, welcome back to the PNC Championship, defending champions. You've had some experience defending titles. Mike, I'm not sure about you.
A long time ago, 30 years ago.
So
I
what's the
defended.
feeling like for you guys coming back here and defending after winning last year?
Yeah, we're excited. I don't think, and I'd like to hope that we're not looking at it any differently. I mean, we're just here to have a good time and enjoy each other's company. And yeah, playing good golf is always a bonus. It's a fun, relaxing, laid back week, and I'm we're both excited for it.
Okay. Mike,
just to get to play a couple days with Justin. I mean, we don't get to play together very often anymore, so I mean that's just a treat in itself.
Do you recall the last time you won a tournament and had to go back and defend?
I won 8 or 10 tournaments in Kentucky, but they were a long time ago. It was I would say 20 plus years ago. Yeah.
Was Justin?
I didn't have as good a partner then either.
We'll take some questions. I just want to remind you, if you have a question, just jump on this side in front of that microphone and have at it. Go ahead, Doug.
Was Justin born the last time you defended? Let's just try and narrow it down a little bit.
Yes, he was.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Pretty good for you, Doug.
Mike, how much have you gotten to practice over the last couple of weeks?
My intention was to start cramming about 3 or 4 days ago. That's usually my game plan. I've been busy teaching, but right along my cram session came up just hobbling around with some back issues, so I cut into so I'm cramming on site. On-site cramming.
And JT, since last year, has the trash talking between you and Charlie Woods gone up or down?
I mean, it's probably down for him. I mean, I think he's starting to get old enough that you need to back up your trash talk a little bit better if you're going to be saying it. We'd obviously had a lot of putting contests and fun rounds here and there, but obviously never in competition. But until they get that belt and we don't, I know that we have the forever bragging rights for the time being.
JT, when's the last time you played a round of golf with Tiger?
Right out this year.
Probably, no, yeah, it wouldn't have been this year.
Here last year?
Here, like Saturday last year, for example.
Yeah, it probably was.
I
Or
played
yeah,
with him
something at home.
last week, one day.
Justin,
How did it look? Where?
Yeah, he's good. It's crazy that how good he's hitting and how far he's hitting for what he's been through.
Go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Was it Charlie or Tiger? It's crazy how far he's hitting it.
Both, but Tiger has been through a lot more than Charlie. It's impressive where he's at.
What's your excitement level just to see him compete again?
My excitement level is high just for him being out here and being, somewhere other than his house and getting to see a lot of familiar faces and I know spending time with Charlie and is a huge deal to him. So I know he's excited for that part. I mean, in terms of the competing, I think his expectations are very low, but at the same time, he is who he is for a reason. So I'm sure he'll be pissed off if he doesn't play well.
Mike? What was the occasion of you guys playing? Are you an occasional second set of eyes, or was one of the two of you just flat bored?
Yeah, just hang out with Charlie quite a bit. He likes to play golf and just bounce stuff off of him. We'll go out and play and working on his game a little bit. They were just going to another facility and invited me along to start my cram session. But just got interrupted.
What sort of changes have you seen in Charlie's game recently? Dramatic, that's good growth, I guess.
I mean, he's pretty solid. He hadn't gotten any taller. He's a little stronger. He hits it very far for his size. I think just like a lot of those kids that age, it was the same for him. You just got to get your maturity level up to your skill level. And when you're in that age group, some of them don't do it till they're 15 or 16. Some of them at 12 years old are way ahead of the maturity schedule on the golf course, and that's just a big part of his improvements. Just going to be as he gets better at course management and things like that.
What do you think Saturday will be like? Does it revert to trash talking, or is it just different at all? Or?
I mean, it's going to be the same as if us four were just playing at home. It really is. We're all root for each other. We want to go out there and have fun. It's the same thing for all of us. Is that I'm here to spend time with my dad, and Tiger's here to spend time with Charlie, and vice versa. And it just so happens we're playing in a a televised tournament, and that's really, at least for me personally, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm sure we'll have our needling here and there, but at the end of the day, we're all pulling for each other, and we just want to have a good time and see each other do well.
There's talk that he's using a new ball, a new driver. What does it say about his golf obsession that it's not just a father-son, but he's also testing equipment in his first tournament in 10 months?
It's yeah, I mean it's about right on par, I'd say.
Justin, you said you would debate maybe who it meant more to last year, the win here. What did winning with each other mean, and where do you guys keep your belts?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with those belts. I would say, other than that night when we got home, we had some beers together and both had them on the whole time. It was definitely the first place we both wore them was over to Tiger, so it was we enjoyed that. But I don't know. I mean, it means so much to both of us for different reasons. I think eventually down the road when I have children, like I'll understand the side that my dad's coming from, and but just for me, it's like I've spent so much time with my dad and in so many different phases of my life that we're, like he said, we don't really get the opportunity to play a lot of golf together. When we do, it's just kind of random here or there, or when we're trying to fetch balls for our family at holidays or whatever it is. So it's very, very enjoyable for us, I would say.
Justin, you probably saw this coming with Tiger well before we did, but given what all has transpired, are you even surprised? I mean, how fast this is, even just to get to this point.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just happy for him more than anything. I mean, it's something that's obviously I get asked a lot of questions, but at the end of the day, it's just like, look, it's like any freak injury or accident. Like, it's just everybody's recovery is different, and it's all just going to be kind of based on what you're doing rehab and stuff like that wise. But also at the same time, it just like my dad and his back, like he has days where it's good, he has days where it's not, and just like some days when I wake up feel better than I do others. So when he's going through something like that, I'm sure some days he's like, oh wow, I can do this, and there's some days where it's like, oh, I'm not really sure. But it's very impressive and unbelievable. But I know that he somewhere deep down in there had this circled on the calendar of wanting to come back here.
Just curious, growing up watching Tiger, how did that influence how you play the game?
Yeah, it influenced a lot. I mean, just watching him, how he handled the pressure moments, the adversity. Just, I felt like anytime the occasion rose, he did as well. And I think that was something that was very impressive to watch, and something that I'm trying to emulate. And not only in my game when I started out, but now. And yeah, he's a massive reason. I mean, I don't like to give him that much credit, but he definitely is a massive reason of why I love golf as much as I did as a kid. But it's not just me, it's a lot of people in my age group. I think it's no surprise to anybody that he got a lot of kids going that way.
Mike, you talked a little bit about being surprised at Tiger's length when you play with him. How close is he to what he normally would do?
I don't know. I mean, you all know him well enough to know that he's never going to admit to be close to being where he'd like to be. I mean, more importantly, where he normally would be compared to now. I think more importantly is the shock that whatever he has right now is, I mean, he's got some speed, he's got some length, it's a lot of really, really flush shots. I mean, I was surprised.
Justin, when you look at your dad's game, what part of your game makes you go, apple, tree? And Mike, what part of Justin's game makes you look at him and go, it ain't come from me?
Well, none of the distance came from me, I can tell you that.
The length in the backswing definitely didn't come from Dad.
There's more differences than similarities for sure.
Very different eras. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, my dad was playing. There probably weren't very many people that were working on their fitness and before and after rounds. And well, no, I'm just more, rotation, stuff like that. It's like you get done, like, let's go have a couple beers in the pro shop. And that's how it was even on tour back in the day, from what I've heard. So, I mean, I definitely see now. I mean, when my dad was playing, his short game was really, really good. So I can see some of that. I mean, we had a lot of chipping and putting contests when I was a kid, you know, when we were able to spend more time together, and he was playing a lot more. So I could definitely see that aspect of it.
You see your short game in him?
My short game used to be really good. It was never, you know, when you're around that level of a player, you realize, wow, I thought it was pretty good. It's not all that good. Just better than my peers, you know.
Didn't watching him chip screw up your own game at one point?
Yeah, trying to do some of the stuff that he did versus what I was capable of doing. Yeah, so I'm still working my way back to that.
It's all that practice he's putting in is really crazy. It hasn't turned around. Once
Justin,
a month.
What do you like as a mentor, and do you take that seriously? And Tiger talked about you being a big brother to Charlie.
What do I like it?
What are you like as a mentor?
Like someone looking up to me?
Yeah.
I don't think I can answer that question. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had someone sit me down and say you're my mentor because kind of thing. I mean, I'd like to hear that just because obviously there's enough decent qualities in there to make it worth this person's time. But I can't unfortunately tell you why somebody would want to look up to me.
I think Charlie looks up to him
Yeah.
a lot, but like all four of our relationships together, the first thing we're going to do is needle each other. So, you know, it's probably less sage advice that he's passing on and more of verbal comedic abuse, just because that's what we do.
Yeah. Lead by jokes.
Do you consider Tiger a mentor? And if so, what makes him a good one?
It's probably, yeah. I guess I could answer it that way. I definitely do. His willingness to help, I think, is the biggest reason or the biggest thing. I mean, and after asking that question, Charlie could ask me anything he wants, and I would answer him as fully and honestly and helpful as I possibly can. And I feel the same with Tiger. I mean, there's a lot of things that he shared with me, not only in my game, but just the game of golf in general that I never tell anybody, just because, to be perfectly honest, I think it's an advantage, and I take a lot of pride and honor that, you know, he's been willing to share some stuff with me. Are there a lot of other things he probably hasn't told me? Yeah, because he knows that he still likes golf and wants to beat me when we're playing. But I think just being there as a friend is most important, as a mentor. But yeah, kind of pushing each other along the way type thing.
Has he ever told you something that you didn't want to hear? In terms of, can you give an example of that?
I remember the first time. I mean, we played a decent amount of golf at home, but the first time we played in a tournament together, I think was Bahamas, maybe his event. I don't know, would that have been maybe 17 or
16 or 17, one of the two.
Yeah, one of those. It was either that or Riviera. It was one of those two. I played with him for the first time in a tournament, and I got done, and I just called him. I'm like, hey, you know, we played a lot at home, but now we played in a tournament. You know, what do you see? What do I need to get better at? And he just immediately was like, you don't have near enough shots. He's like, it's like, you can work it. He's like, but you don't have enough shots to be, you know, to be as dominant as I was, kind of thing. He's like, yeah, you're, like I said, you have some that you can hit, but you don't have all of them, and you don't have enough. I was like, all right.
Were you, if you're being honest with yourself, Justin, were you expecting to hear something different?
No, but I wanted
better bunker play, or, you know, just something minor?
No, but I mean, I definitely see it, because I see it in a lot of rookies or even players that have been out here that are kind of like on that edge. I mean, it's very, very similar to a lot of stuff that I see, and I can see why he saw it in me now. But I also wouldn't want it to be like, no, man, everything's great. Like, you're doing awesome. You know, it's like, that would have been like, now you're lying to me. So it's, yeah, I mean, you want to hear the harsh stuff. I think that also makes a good mentor.
When's the last time you asked him a question like that, and how much different was the answer?
I know to take advantage of him, unfortunately, and I'm sorry if you hear this when he's hurt, because he's more willing to answer because he's not playing at that moment. So I try to take advantage of those moments.
I had one more from, well, go ahead, Sean.
Just curious, after he tells you about the shots, what was the follow-up to that then? How did you change what you were doing and go about implementing that advice?
Just go figure it out.
Yeah.
Go to the range, go on the course. I mean, I think you see it a lot from, I mean, I'm not like, if it's a 9-iron 160 yards to a middle pin, like I'm gonna hit a 9-iron. I'm not gonna feel like I need to hook it or hit a big slice. But at the end of the day, there's definitely a lot of shots throughout the year that I'm able to use that to help me, or there's pins that I can maybe get close to that the person I'm playing with can't. So it's helped and stuff like that.
I just had one more for you, Mike, because you talked about length that you don't have compared with him. Is there? Can you share like one story of some of his more significant growth spurts from junior to where he is now? Was there one time frame that stood out of when he took it to another level?
I mean, he was always the shortest, the smallest in every field he played in. Shortest distance-wise, smallest kid, whether he was 11-year-olds or 14-year-olds. I remember one summer he was gone for like 3 weeks. He came home like he always would. Get home at 6 that evening from a tournament, want to go out and play now. And I remember him hitting some tee shots, like literally I hadn't seen him in 3 weeks. I'm like, you're like 20 yards longer than you were before you left. It was crazy. I mean, his ball was making a different noise. I would say he was maybe 15, 16 or something. He was still pretty small. And he grew after that. So he started hitting it farther and then grew after that. Kind of like Charlie, where Charlie's a lot stronger than in his size. So when he gets a little bit bigger along with that strength, it's going to hit far.
Okay. Well, thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.